What's going on, guys? We're going to try to look at Deshaun Watson right here. Real quick, guys, we're going to try to look at Shawnee Watson in his second game in the National Football League. So we're going to try to rock out with and get some Sean Watson tape if we can. Here you look at Deshaun, guy's not driving. Guy staying back on his left heel. Guy's not driving the football where it needs to be. His footwork, Deshaun Kaiser, too much too much stepping of the left foot. Here for Deshaun Watson, not enough. Hanging back, and this throw is inaccurate behind him. His feet weren't aligned towards the throw, hip not moving enough, and Deshaun Watson very stiff in the pocket here, very stiff upper body, and this throw needs to be out in front. It's not, and it causes a very inaccurate toss by Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson, I'll put it to you this way, guys. Deshaun, and this is a fumble, so take that with a little grain of salt. So looking here with Deshaun Watson, Tom Savage had a pretty big night. I mean, he led touchdown drives. He hangs in the pocket. He shows more patience than Deshaun Watson. It pretty much, after this tape, and I'll try to even do a Tom Savage tape, it's clear that Tom Savage is going to be the guy week one. He's done enough to earn over the team. What's his name? Loves Tom Savage is DeAndre Hopkins, and that's really the most important guy. There is what DeAndre wants. And Tom Savage is going to take over this team. And you look at the schedule for the Houston Texans, and Tom Savage could get out to theoretically a 5-1 start before they go to Seattle. Because I look at all those games, and they play like the Titans at home, they play the Jags at home, all their AFC South little brothers that they always beat. So Tom Savage, they go to the Bengals, and the Bengals look atrocious on defense. I fully expect Houston to win that game on Thursday night. They're going to beat the Jags. They're going to be 2-1 because they're going to lose to New England. But then they play like the Chiefs at home, and they really handle the Chiefs well at home, whether it be, except for that postseason game with Hoyer, they have handled the Chiefs, and they even beat them last year with Brock Osweiler. Alex Smith ain't coming into Houston and getting a win. So Tom Savage is going to have a chance to lead this team to an 11-5 season. And Deshaun Watson might not play at all this first year. And if I had to predict, if not for an injury, I've seen enough from Savage that I think Houston's going to get by with him this year. But let's look at Deshaun Watson. Good throw here to Bruce Ellington. Bruce does the rest, running with the football. Bruce Ellington, huge play from Bruce. Bruce was fantastic. Had a moss over Malcolm Butler. Dante Foreman is a freaking beast. Here we go, though. Sean Watts. I want to see Shawnee look at some other guys. I want to see Deshaun look at other dudes. He doesn't. He quickly gives up on the play. Now, there's not a lot of guys that are open. This is a good, accurate ball. He would have had to throw the ball immediately when he got the snap. Anderson's run out of the end zone. There's almost nowhere to put that ball. Deshaun Watson knows that in the red zone he wants to cash in, and he didn't. Here, basically, good throw, but two guys are basically in the same vicinity of this throw. This is where Bruce Ellington, again, is very new, and he's not exactly learning the playbook all that well. He's running here, and this tight end here wants to get the ball. So Bruce is new to new to Houston, new to the playbook, and he kind of messes up that play. And then Bruce here. It's just not a good series for Ellington, although Ellington was very active, had a very, very good night, like I said. Really going to be competing for that number 2 receiver role. Kind of a tough throw, but Deshaun needed to put it there. So actually a very, smart throw by Deshaun Watson to put it away from coverage. I believe Deshaun's going to get the ball at like the 9-yard line here on this next series. So let's see actually if Deshaun Watson gets the football. Yeah, he does. And essentially, Deshaun again is going to basically go to maybe his first read, even though it's in double coverage. And Deshaun's not, he's in the end zone, but he doesn't look at other guys. He's not to that point where he's evolving and scanning the field. Tom Savage can scan. Deshaun Watson is not really scanning because the system is complicated. And this is a throw that easily could have been intercepted if not for the receiver coming back and playing a little bit of defense. So, in the red zone there, the throw to Anderson out of the end zone was, again, Deshaun Watson just looking at one read. The game is very, very fast for Deshaun Watson right now. But unlike Alex Smith, and a lot of guys will compare Deshaun Watson, some are comparing him to Alex Smith because of his inaccuracy throwing downfield. Deshaun Watson, though, I like how Deshaun Watson does push the ball down the field, does take opportunities, does put something on tape, does go for the jugular. And that's going to end up paying off. This throw right here, the footwork's actually better, but he's guiding the football. And this is where you kind of need more reps. Deshaun Watson's not letting that football snap. The football's coming out, and instead of firing the ball, Deshaun's trying to aim it, trying to guide the football. And this throw's coming out, and it's coming out as a knuckler. It's coming out, It's coming out kind of top spinny, kind of curvy, and he's not really snapping the football. It's not a tight spiral. It's coming out like a Wakefield knuckleball. You just see that throw, and that's a guided throw. That's Deshaun Watson, gripping the football and kind of throwing it again with topspin, where he's going to need to work on throwing a tighter spiral here. And look, there's guys in his face, so Deshaun is he's very confused where this football should be thrown. The timing is off. And this throw combined with the slant route is probably going to end up really losing Deshaun Watson the quarterback gig. I expect Tom Savage to go out next week, and if not for a total train wreck, Savage is going to win the job. And again, like I mentioned, their schedule is favorable as heck for Tom Savage to actually really carry this thing out a lot longer than people anticipate if you start looking at the schedule. This is an unbelievable throw, and these two rookies, Dante Foreman looks like a complete beast. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of when Eddie Lacy came into the fold, a little bit of, I don't want to say a young Marshawn Lynch because that's really putting a lot of hype on this guy. But I want to just show you the way that he catches the football out of the backfield. I mean, out of Texas, an offense that wasn't very prolific with Charlie Strong. Look at this cut. Look at the cut from Dante Foreman. Nimble on his feet for a big guy. This guy, running backs can come out of nowhere and surprise. Dante Foreman I would take as a late pick in my fantasy draft because there's an opportunity that Dante Foreman looks more dangerous even than Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller, I mean, he had an okay career in Miami. Everybody thought Lamar Miller would take that next step. The guy really hasn't taken the next step in his career. So Dante Foreman really getting Deshaun Watson a lot of help. And then Deshaun Watson again going to end off the night with a touchdown and a TD dance. So the one thing about Deshaun Watson, this guy, even though he struggles, he's moving the football. He is a winner. And Deshaun Watson still seems to be very confident, even though he was throwing a couple knuckleballs tonight. So for Deshaun, unfortunately, he's not going to push Tom Savage. Savage benefited from a Bruce Ellington Moss early in the game. He benefited from good field position, but Savage, really strong arm actually, not very mobile in the pocket. But Tom Savage, I think, is going to win this job before Deshaun Watson ends on a high note, the weight transfer like we talked about. He's hanging too much on his back foot. And Deshaun, I want to see him start really throwing with confidence instead of guiding the ball. And I'm confident that Deshaun can do that. Wow, a huge hit there by the Texans. And I believe it's Whedon time, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty, guys, we'll see y'all. More film reviews coming up soon.